Just now we have learned about the two waves. The first one is body wave and the second one is surface waves. So body waves are of two types. Yes, the seismic wave generates at the focus of an earthquake. The first one is body waves, and there we will going to know about the two types of body waves. The first one is primary waves. Before some time I have just mentioned these two words, the P waves, primary waves, and the S waves, which is called the secondary waves. So they are called the P and S waves. P waves basically move faster and are first to arrive at the surface. That's why it's named as P waves. Like in rock cycle, you have also learned that primary rock, secondary rock, it's just like that. And the P waves are similar to sound waves also. They travel through the gaseous, liquid and solid material. But S waves arrive at the surface with some time lag, and they are called the secondary waves. So an important fact about the S waves is that they can travel only through the solid materials. So there are some differences between the P waves and S waves, that is very much clear to you all. So what's written in this note, that P waves, the faster of the two, yes, travel quickly and it can move through the gaseous, liquids and the solid. That means in all kinds of matters through which it can move faster, similar to the sound waves. And S waves, on the another hand, we can see it's slower and can only travel through the solids. So the behavior of the S wave is crucial in helping scientists understand the Earth's internal structure. So P waves and S waves, some of the differences we have got to know from this part. Now come to the revision short pointers. Body waves, these are generated at the earthquake focus and travel through the Earth's interior. The first point we have learned. You can also write these points like this, because there is also given a point-wise note, so that you can also follow up. There are two body waves. The first one is P waves, which is primary waves, and the second one is S waves, which is secondary waves. Come to the next point. P waves travel faster, quick, and it can move through the gases, liquids and solid matter. S waves are very much slower rather than the P wave and can only travel through the solid waste. The behavior of S waves helps scientists to understand the Earth's interior structure. And the 1964 Alaska earthquake is an example of the practical study of the P waves and S waves. Just we have learned up to this. Come to the next part, which is surface waves in the earthquake. Surface waves. What is it? Surface waves, that means it's not only going into the interior structure of the earth, it's obviously is a seismic waves that generate when the body waves reach the earth's surface. Yes, that's why the name is written surface waves, and which interact with the obviously the surface rocks. So these waves can also cause the ground to move. Their speed varies depending on the density of the material which pass through, moving faster from the denser materials. They are recorded last on a seismograph and are known as for the most destructive type of seismic waves. That means among the body waves and the surface waves, we have the most destructive type of seismic wave, which is surface waves, and as they can cause significant movement of rocks and damage to the long-term structures. Example, what is written? Haiti earthquake, 2010 Haiti earthquake, which serves as a notable example for this. In this earthquake, what happened? The surface waves caused extensive damage to the buildings and the infrastructure and loss of property also. The variation in wave speed and the direction due to the different ground materials and uneven distribution of damage. That means in some way the damages were most profoundly more or less. So according to the affected areas, and which highlights the destructive nature of the surface waves and their impact on the Earth's surface. So the body waves basically originates in the interior structure of the Earth, and the surface waves is basically coming contact to the surface rocks. That is the basic difference between these two waves. Now come to the short pointers for the revision. Surface waves are created when body waves reach and interact with the Earth's surface. These waves cause the ground to move. Body waves cause the interior part of the Earth to move, but surface waves cause the ground to move. Their speed changes with the density of the material as they can travel through more faster and in the denser materials. Surface waves change direction upon the materials on different densities. They are recorded last on seismograph, and surface waves are particularly very much destructive and damaging the structures. One example is given for this 2010 Haiti earthquake, which exemplifies the destructive impact of the surface waves.